back. I was not expecting that. Baby girl is feeling herself right now because it's her birthday and she wants tons of even more attention than she already gets. And I want to give it then, but she wants it on her terms. Look at that face. Look at that face. Just like Lisa, for God's sake. For dog's sake, right? Anyway, before my set was destroyed, my set by a curious kitty. She can do no wrong. Just made me laugh. And it turned off the video, so that's why this is going to be a two-parter. Well, not too much of a two-parter, but just to finish her up. Oh yeah, they definitely hit. So, as I was saying in my typical fashion, can I remember now? Anyway, I wrote to tell her that I never stopped loving her, and I love her more today and every day I love her more. And the reason I've grown in these ways, done these things, like becoming vegan, was because of her. I came to understand, and my mother, and of course also all the animals exploited. These are Franken animals, people. That's what you're eating. They have genetically modified, created these animals to put on the maximum amount of weight or give the maximum amount of milk until their bodies unusually shortened life. Because can you imagine having one baby every 9 months, having another baby for 5 years? Anyway, and I mentioned that. I said, me becoming vegan had a lot to do with you and Mom and what the three of us went through. And but I don't think I said anything. I didn't go into specifics or anything like that. I said, but that was just a starting point. That wasn't like, that was just a way, and another way that and I've mentioned this before, that I can show and choose and be as compassionate as I can be to cause the least amount of harm to anyone and any being on this planet. And then I have a friend in upstate New York, and she's veganesque, which I love, and that's a great word for like, if you're vegan, even if you just try, like, I'm impressed by anyone who can go like meat-free Mondays, or like for Lent, or just do like a monthly challenge or something like that. It's all a learning experience, and it's all progress. I think we need to be much more, as vegans. We need to be, and like I said, veganism has been around for a long, long time. There's no propaganda. It's showing what goes on at chicken farms, industrial animal agriculture is propaganda. Is considered propaganda. Then I guess I'm guilty as charged. But it's not. It's showing the truth, and I have watched it. I've watched, and I will not watch anymore because I've seen enough. I've seen all I need to see, and I know some people have to. Oh, the people who do those rescues. Well, rescue, that have sanctuaries or whatever, but not whatever, but sanctuaries or rescues. And then the people who do like the direct action, that go into these facilities and try to take as many of the hideously deformed and sick and disabled and dying animals to try to save their lives. I wish I could remember her name. I follow her on Instagram. I'll link her down below. But she was arrested and charged with some, I can't remember, but she had to spend time in jail. I guess it was for not maybe robbery, or I can't remember, for steal, because she went into Purdue. I think it was Purdue. Oh, they're all awful, but and they're all anyway. So she went into one of their facilities and stole to save their lives, and I think that is a good thing. Of course, she doesn't have the money that Purdue and the animal industry has. So they like through the book. They said she could have done like 20 years or something. Now, of course, it was because the public outcry was so fierce. I'm assuming I don't know. I may have written Purdue too. I can't remember, but I know I signed a lot of petitions. And Zoe, that was her name. Zoe Rooster, right? Zoe Rooster or Zoe Rooster is, I think, what her link is on Instagram. And she may be on other platforms I'm not aware of. But anyway, that's just and she, to actually go into those places, to put your life at risk. This world is unusually, I mean, it's crazier than it's ever been for me, because we're now living under a fascist regime, and I've never done that before, and I never thought that I would live to see the day. I mean, I knew things were bad, but and this is what they count on, that you're too sick and you're too poor and you work in 2 or 3 jobs. You're struggling just to survive because you have to pay to live. You have to pay to actually live on this planet. And that just boggles my mind. We are so, and I still struggle with it too, but I'm also one of those people who's like, I'm boycotting this, I'm boycotting that, and I do, and I want to learn. I can't go to the rallies or whatever. I mean, I suppose I could, but it's maybe when I'm in remission. See, I'm manifesting this. And I also forgot to tell you that my sister wrote me yesterday, or I got a letter from my sister yesterday, and I'm too scared to open it. Like I said, I guess I put maybe there was a part of me that thought we could have like a letter relationship, or we could talk by letter. But again, my sister, I haven't talked to her in a decade or so. So I don't know where she is in her life's journey. But I would, that's what I yelled at my half brother about, because he's like, Jill's just a lost cause, and I yelled at him about that, and at his parents for not like defending Jill, considering they are the reason she has suffered the way she has, and I have, and my mother has. Wow. See, and now I feel like I've opened this, and I may never read it. It would, I don't know. She may not even, like I said, I have absolutely no idea which way and, like I said, I mailed that like a month ago, so she's had a month, and of course she's a mother of 2, and one of her, anyway, she's a mother, And I'm sure she has a busy life or whatever, so I'm not going to presume that she was trying to decide whether she should write or not. I'm not going to presume anything. But I'm amazed I didn't have a panic attack because I was that surprised, even though I did put a return. But I don't know, I guess maybe a part of me thought she might respond, even though at the end I wrote, I have no expectations of a response, and I don't need a response, or something like that. That sounds really mean, but I don't know. She could hate me. I've done enough things that are so taboo and so punishable by being shunned. They shun people. It's just, anyway. That she would be considered like shunning behavior. And the thing is, she has too. And we always judge harshly in others what we judge ourselves even harsher for. But can't work on that without deflecting, which we've all done. I've done it plenty of times. Anyway, what else? Oh, I'm reading Life After Cars, but it's making me so angry because of course it was big oil and it's these kajillion-dollar industries that just have resources galore. And they run the government. This has been going on a lot longer. A lot of people have been against cars, but now everybody feels there's no going back. In this book or the podcast, I'll link both below in case you're interested. I haven't finished reading it, but it's just, so I think I'm going to pick because the other books I have to read are No Straight Road. I'm reading this backwards. Takes You There. Rebecca Solnit writes wonderful books. I read her Hope in the Dark. That had been recommended to me, and they're all about this size, and it's hopeful. That's the message she's trying to put across: is that there's always hope, and that's very hard for me to accept. Very hard, and anyone with CPTSD will know that. And bonus points if you have suicidal ideation. It's very hard to be positive about anything, to be hopeful about anything. And yet I yelled at my brother for saying that my sister was hopeless. So I must. And I did then, and I have to now. I will not be alive to see it. And I'm not saying I'm doing anything right now. I'm just saying I'm in my 50s, and I have two chronic illnesses and shitty health care. I don't know. I try to take very good care of myself. And sometimes I ask myself why. But hope, I guess, right? I guess because I have to have hope in my sister, and I have to have hope in my mother. I don't have to have hope for anything else. I do, but it's very hard. Read Skin of Our Teeth. That Thornton Wilder, I think it's Thornton Wilder play. And that's the thing too. Of course, they're always going to, that's why for the arts, they're constantly going after the arts because of the arts. That was the other thing I wanted to say is what Leonard Cohen and Sharon Robinson wrote that song. Everybody knows this shit has always been going on. The government has always been corrupt. art, and that's what art is. That's why they're so important. Whatever media, um, what, and that's why they're so scared, and that's why they defund the arts. Is because they know that art. That's what art. That's what that song is about. It's about me being angry because every day I and thousands of other people walk past homeless people every day, and we don't stop and do anything about it. What if and I've been homeless. I haven't been on the street homeless, which is a whole, it's so dangerous. And especially if you're a woman, but for anyone, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Um, the homeless shelters here in New York City are just as dangerous. That's why a lot of people stay on the streets. Women are and children are extremely vulnerable. As what else is new, right? Nobody protects us except Trixie and Katya because I watched. Oh, here's the other book. Before I say that, I need to I need to learn how to hold my attention, and we all do. And I haven't started reading this yet either, but it was recommended to me by a coworker, bookie friend. Bookie, what's the word I'm looking for? Reader friend, bookie friend. Like I know a bookie. Who knows? Maybe one of them. But anyway, recommended this book about a manifesto of the attention liberation movement. That's why tonight, as my buzz makes its gentle descent, I'm going to listen to another album in full. I know I said in my last video what I think I do. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. It just depends. I'm going to listen to some more of my soundtrack and then look through because I've saved a lot of albums that I want to listen to. But these are all serious. I mean, this one's hopeful, but it's also I need a little break from nonfiction. I need more of a break from nonfiction because I have been reading fiction, but I think I need the escape of like I want to read some more classic literature, so I'm gonna go on my e-reader and see what I've saved to read and do that tonight because I can't read my sister's letter. I'm in that fragile a state that I'm unable to at this time open her letter. And who knows, she may never have even read my letter. You just don't know. Anyway, is there anything else I was going to talk about? Oh, Trixie and Katya, thank you. Last night I watched their most recent. I like to watch, and they did. I guess it was It was a documentary on America's Next Top Model and Tyra Banks, who are both. I mean, reality TV is horrible, and I know Trixie has a soft spot for it, but it got to her and it got to Katya, which doesn't surprise me because Katya is a very compassionate person. I see that in her. She's got a very big heart. Trixie does too. Yeah, she really does. Um, but I never watched it because I grew up on the Real World MTV. That was like the beginning of my interpretation of a reality show. And it all just became very apparent that, like they mentioned as they're watching this documentary, I can't remember what it was called, but it was about America's Next Top Model. And I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyway, they treated those girls, young women, but so, like Trixie said, some of these girls are just off the farm, They may be beautiful, someone's interpretation, back then, what was that, the early 2000s when that show was on or started. Like I said, I watched The Real World, and I watched some Survivor. The first couple seasons were very, but I mean, as Trixie said, they edit those shows so heavily to make drama, or to make you think there's drama. They create villains because they cut scenes in a certain way, and or make up, I it goes on, like Trixie said, happens on Drag Race, happens on any reality show is like that, and that's why I just cannot bear to watch them. Though I have to say, I did enjoy what I did watch when they watched that series on autism, being on the autism spectrum, the dating series. That one, because it didn't seem so. First of all, it was highlighting that, unlike what RFK Jr., whatever that stupid asshole thing says, these people are wonderful. I wish I didn't have that. I mean, I'm not trying to diminish the challenges of being autistic or being on the autism spectrum. And I don't want to do that because, anyway, I would never want to do that. But it's like a superpower to me that they can just speak, and we all should be able to speak that way. Just speak the truth as you see it. Just speak the truth. If everybody just, I mean, granted, there could be some awkward time, there's some nuance to that maybe some people on the autism spectrum don't have. But at the same time, that directness is very refreshing. It's shockingly refreshing. And so I enjoyed. I only watched what was on their episode if I like to watch. But I mean, even Katya liked it because Katya hates reality shows too. She's always like, Trixie, these goddamn reality shows. Well, I don't know if she's ever said that, but Trixie loves those shows, and that's fine. But it was very moving to see, and they've been on reality shows, so they know about these certain things. But this show in particular, I mean, Trixie and Katya both grew up on. I don't know if Katya watched it, but Trixie definitely did. And to see what the horrific things that went on behind the camera. And sometimes, and a lot of times, because Tyra Banks, I don't know what her issues are, but she is unhinged. Completely unhinged. She should. And of course, that drove the ratings too for a while. And then the documentary shows that either she's become too difficult. I don't know. It was kind of hazy as to, but maybe so. Maybe she was doing like more. I mean, the things that the shows she was thinking of, like College Edition, and let's just traumatize every woman in every age bracket, and she was doing like women 5, 7 and under, and it's crazy. And she has done irreparable damage to so many young women. And she was probably damaged from the industry herself. And then fucking Janice Dickinson, is that her name? I recall the name because I am of that age, that she was probably really hot back in the 80s, maybe early 80s, 70s, 80s. She'd be like, you can't say it, you don't know anything. Anyway, she was much more directly horrific. But I'm sure, and I'm not excusing the behavior. She was just awful. just mean and nasty and not it just, she's just a horrible person. She said horrible things to these women, and without blinking an eye. And what I can't remember if it was Trixie or Katya saying, her generation, not like again, she wasn't excusing her behavior. She called her out as all this, probably said worse things than I said. But the '80s generation of models, I think all generations of models, maybe until very recently, or maybe it still goes on because it is still a man's world. But I'm sure they all got treated horrifically. But just what it made both Trixie and Katya cry for the treatment of women, and Trixie said something it's very true, and she said it just so calmly, directly. She's like, men kill women every day. Thank you, Trixie, for saying that, and thank you for rewatching that. For I don't know, I've actually rewatched scenes again because I find it so moving. Like I said, I know Katya has a huge heart, and everybody loves Katya, so I can't imagine I would not. She just seems like such a wonderful human being to me. Anyway, I don't want to ruin it in case you want to watch it. The episode. It's the one where they watch the. I'll try to link it below. I don't think I'll be able to. I should. I haven't made much progress with the aesthetics of the show, but I have been rewatching the Scholler family videos from the beginning. For when Rihanna, her show was about being studying in CNRA school, so that she become a nurse anesthetist, and that's just the way it's going to come out. You know what I mean? And how it became what it is 7 years later, and it made me feel better because she had trauma. We all have trauma, but hers. Anyway, so I can just relate. And I actually enjoyed learning about the CNRA program. I'm never going to go to nursing school or do that, but it's incredible. She loves it. First of all, she loves it. She's made to be a nurturer. That's just who she is. And but it takes a lot of brains. And so she got her doctorate in that. And anyway, she goes on about, not goes on, I don't really get to say it like that, but she has all these episodes. I'm like, it interests me still because she's very good, even though they're very basic videos like mine still are. She's got an engaging face. She's lovely, and she also has a lovely personality, and she's just being herself. You can tell she's just being her authentic self. I can really tell that about somebody. I think women have an intuition. Sometimes it's like blunted by who do you think or what do you think? But thank goodness mine has blossomed, and but it's kind of a because I don't trust anybody, and that's another big red flag that I'm not. But I think I did trust people more back then when I was on Clonopin the first time on a higher dose, and my doctor was fine with it. The psychiatrist was fine. Never was like, we need to reduce this or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting off on the subject. But yeah, and I'm gonna listen to an album, and then I'm gonna pick maybe some classic literature, my e-reader to read tonight because I need a little break, even though I am gonna read those books. I need a little break from life, nonfiction. Um, is that everything I had to say? Oh, and I went to Trader Joe's today, as I do on Sundays, and I always kind of gauge to see whether to have like a conversation with the cashier, because I know not everybody is talky like I am, so chatty like I am. But they said number 3 is ready for you, and I went up to her, and first of all, her makeup was, listen, this is going to be a Trixieism, on point. This girl, she must have TikTok. She could be a makeup artist. She even has a little highlight on the nose. Her makeup, but I didn't say that about her face. I should have, but what I said was because she also had beautiful, she was a woman of color. She had beautiful light pink hair, light pink dyed hair, like cotton candy. And I don't know if it was a little like ombre, but it was the style, the color, with her skin. I mean, and then her face was, she and I had a lovely conversation. But I had to say, I mean, I kind of just blurted it out, and I said, your hair is so beautiful, and that made me think that we need to say things, and it doesn't have to be physical. You can just say, you're really funny. And I know that sounds so strange, but because we don't do it. We're not aware enough. We're not paying attention enough to like really know anything about anyone. We don't really know anything about anyone online. It could be anyone or anything, and so I don't go out very much, but when I do, it's usually like buy groceries or the few times I go out to dinner or something like that. But I'm always, and I wasn't always like this either. Believe me, it's part of my journey. Uh, I know that just sounds so entitled, but I don't feel very entitled. I feel very used and abused. But I guess a scrappy fighter or something. Or I don't know. It's a lot of different things. I need a new therapist. I need to see a therapist today. You are my therapy right now. Anyway, I think that's everything I have to say. Yeah, so just be nice to people. Be a little extra nice to someone every day. Like I saw a, a friend who used to, actually, she was my supervisor at work, and she retired. And I saw her yesterday, and she said, first of all, she's just a lovely personality. Um, she's just a lovely person. And but she said, "Oh, I love your earrings." And first of all, it made me say, I said, "Oh, you remember my friend G comes once a year, and we." She goes, "Oh yeah." I said, he gifted these to me for my birthday. And she's like, "Oh," it's just a little thing like that. Or like I said, I mean, maybe just saying like, "Hey, you're funny." But I mean, that is funny. And the fact that there's nothing wrong with saying you're funny. I would take it as a compliment. Somebody said, one of my greatest joys in life is like making people either feel better or laugh. I get off on making people laugh. I have never gone into the comedian racket. I don't know. It never occurred to me. But I love to make people laugh. And it's also me trying to please everyone too. So it's not completely healthy, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to make people laugh. We need more laughter. We need more connection. We need more um, community. We need to each do as much as we can to fight, to resist what's going on now. Um, I know, I always go dark. Yeah, I think that's everything. See, that silence was uncomfortable, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I get uncomfortable with silence too, but it's less uncomfortable when I'm high. I don't notice it as much as I just like sitting here staring at it. Oh, Trixie. And anyway, that thing with if you watch there, I like to watch. It's Netflix, and with Trixie and Katya, and it's hard to watch, but it's very moving, and I very much appreciated the things they said and the emotion they emoted over this their horrific treatment of basically girls and women. Not only that, but by another woman. And anyway, so thank you for that. I love, I loved it. I loved because I can tell they're having so much fun. I know they say that it's like the best job ever, and it's funny because I remember hearing was it Trixie or Katya or both of them saying that was really hard, and they made it look so easy. So circle flap to my girls. I try not to say anything else that embarrasses you. I'm not a big demographic. I mean, big part of your demographic, probably. But I love you girls and guys. And yes, I have a crush. I have a crush on Trixie and Brian. But I know it's never, it's not meant to be. But I would love to collaborate with them. I would love to be on. I think I would be great. They need to do like a, I've said this before, they need to have like a contest, or have people write in as to why they fan write in as to why they think they should be a guest on their show, or pick a demographic or part of your demographic that nobody knows about. Knows exists. It's not just the Lizzies, as you would say. I have never said that word before. It felt weird saying it. Anyway, I think I'll stop now. This will be part 2 of this special episode, where my CEO came in and she pulled a no, I didn't say that. She just pulled CEO mode. Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can jump on the computer and squish it into the box, and I did. And goodbye. Love me up just a little bit more. Okay, now goodbye. So if you like anything about my videos, please like and subscribe. I should have done that at the beginning because that's what the subscribe is. But there's a subscribe even below that you can. And like is even better. And subscribe. Or get notified. Because who knows what I'll say next. Don't you? I know you're waiting with bated breath. But and also, if you have any ideas, anything you'd like me to discuss, any topic, or put down in the comments, that would be lovely too. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. I need to watch some more Upstart Crow. If I could talk that way as a job, talk that way with those those talented actors / writers. I have a huge crush on David Mitchell, and the actor, writer, comedian. Uh, he's really a, what do they call? Is polyglot the right word, or is that languages only? That might be languages only. He is a Renaissance man, and I talked to my friend Elle, and she also has a crush on him because straight women, at least these two straight women, um, and I'm not, well, no, I'm just saying, I'm straight, but it doesn't really matter. Because I'm never going to date again. Because I'm really not interested in men anymore. But I'm not interested in women. I think I'm. Is that what asexual means? Can you like develop asexuality? I was talking to a friend about this, who was thinking the same thing. Though interesting enough, she's much younger. She's much younger than I am. But obviously nothing wrong with it. And I don't know where I was going with it. Oh, like I needed to rewatch. God damn it, what was the series now? Oh, god damn it. No, I forgot again. Did I mention it? Oh yeah, Upstart Crow. I gotta go. It's getting out of control here. And put down any happy birthday wishes to Lily Bell. If you have any lovely cats, post their photos too. I would love to see your almost want to check some content, but I am not them. I'm not going to try to be them. Please post photos of your dumplings. I I rarely call her Lily Bell. I call her like Baby Gigi, Baby Gigi, Baby G, Baby G. I call her Tofu Nugget. Um, I sing to her. She has songs. What is the song that I sing to her? I know you really want to know this. I have a made up song. And then I also sing the song that was Zappa's song. You Make Me So Very Happy. Um, and when I sing it, I say, You make me so very happy, Zappy. I'm so glad you came into my life. And the same goes with all the animals in my life. And Lily B. Le Belle. So, yeah, feel free to send. I'll give her an extra smooch for a comment, for a happy birthday comment. That's the kind of giveaways I can afford. Oh, there she goes again. She may have just been doing her rounds. It's about that time of night where she does her rounds. Anyway, I bid you all adieu again, and let me find the button there. And peace out.